house had to be protected by guards. You two were yelled at in the store by a man angry with me for not supporting Donald Trump. At school, other kids made sure you knew your dad was not liked in their household. Some of them wondered aloud if something bad would happen to us. For a time, we stopped going to church because we couldn't make it from Sunday school to the sanctuary without someone stopping us to give us a piece of their mind about politics. One day, toward the end of 2016, I went up to bed late, looked at your mother and said, "I don't know if I'm going to survive this year." Your mom had a near meltdown. "I've made a deal with God," she said. "He can't take both of us." Here we were, both of us just over 40, and for a time it seemed we both had a death sentence. I would lie awake at night wondering what I needed to do to make sure you two would be okay if something happened. I realized that if I died tonight and you Googled me, you would come away with an awful picture of me, much of it untrue. But some of it is, and these are things with which I must reckon. But nothing you'd find on the internet would give you a real picture of who your father is, why I have raised you as I have, and how much I want for you to be a better person than me. I realized I needed to write down the things I want you to know about me, the things I want you to know about life, the reasons we believe what we believe and have raised you accordingly. And I really just want you to know me. Being told you might die has a way of shaking you to your core and making you reprioritize things in your life. Above all else in this universe, know that your mom and I love you. If something should ever happen to us, that means we are separated from you by the chasm of eternity. We want to see you again and be with you. But in the meantime, we want to make sure you are raised lovingly and properly. I want you to know how we come into your room at night and just watch you sleep. I want you to know in the quiet hours of darkness, we sometimes cry because we know your body, heart, or soul is hurting. I want you to know that our love for you is so deep and wide that you will never truly be able to fathom it till you have children of your own. This most painful year we have endured together has made us stronger as a family, more tender to friends, and has both provided valuable lessons and made me aware I need to share those and other lessons with you. I needed to write this book for you. I've written 2 books in the past. One I did not really want to write. The other felt necessary, if not personal. But none were like this. This is an audiobook I need you to listen to. Perhaps not at this moment, but to open later, like a time capsule. This is why I'm compelled to write this book. If I should die before you wake, I want you to know these things are real and true. Love you always, Dad. Chapter 1. Waiting for Batman. God has a plan, and it may not be yours. I was sitting in the mud crying. The rain was falling gently. I remember it was quiet. In my lap was Evelyn, our 1-year-old. How could I explain to her that her mother, Christy, was dying? Doctors had just told me she had 6 months to live. When you get married, you don't think about being widowed. You read stories in People magazine about other people's tragic lives, celebrities who die young, or random families who encounter unspeakable heartbreak. Here I was, covered in mud, snot, rain, and tears, with a baby girl in my lap, patting me as if to tell me it was okay. It was happening to me. I had become a country music song. Christy and I got married in October 2000. Angie, her mother, had died when Christy was a kid, but Christy was old enough to remember her. Her mom made tape recordings for Christy and her younger sister and wrote personal notes for them to open later. Christy's mother, grandmother, and others in her family all had breast cancer. We knew the odds were against Christy. To change fate, Christy decided to undergo a prophylactic mastectomy soon after our wedding. She didn't have cancer, but given the odds, we knew she would get it. On January 19th, 2001, Christy had her surgery. The next day, I watched the presidential inauguration from the hospital as my wife recovered. The muscle damage was so bad, the doctors could not complete a reconstruction, so we had more surgeries to go. Over the next several years, Christy would have several more reconstructive surgeries, as the first few never really took. Then we had Evelyn, and Christy needed another one.